Welcome to The Lift with Sheila Robinson-Kiss. Come on in. There's always a special place set aside for you here where you can relax, kick up your heels, pour yourself a nice, refreshing drink, and prepare to be lifted and soar. For being here and welcome back. So, will he cheat? Will she cheat? The best predictors. I'm receiving so many inquiries offline from people who are in committed relationships or thinking about being in a committed relationship or married, and they're asking themselves, is my heart going to be safe with this person? I've been burned before and I don't want it to happen again. So this video is really about the best predictors. Is there a way to know for sure? I don't think anyone can ever get you to 100% if they say they can run away because they're lying, but I can get you very, very close based on these predictors that I'm going to share. The information that I provide for all of you, this is based on years of clinical practice. Keywords being research, track record, data. Yes, I add in the spiritual information that is so critical for the essence of our lives, and all of that taken together. Just know that everything I share with you, it stands the test of time. It's well researched, well observed information. This is not a hobby for me. I love the work. I have a passion for this work, but this is all I do. I am committed to making sure that your life is impacted in a positive way and that you reach your goals. And in order to do that, you have to make good decisions. One of the most important decisions that you're going to make in your lifetime is, who are you going to be partnered with? Who are you going to take this life walk with? So here we go. People cheat for a variety of reasons. I'll make another video at some other point in time about why people cheat, but this video is very specific to will this person cheat, which is a very different nuance. There are consequences, wonderful consequences for choosing a great partner match, and there are dire consequences for choosing a bad match for you, someone who's prone to cheating. You can have a broken heart, you can have a broken life, and in the worst case scenario, end up ill. People out here being reckless have made other people sick. So into the 4 predictors. Let's just dive in right away. So these are the 4 areas that I want you to hone in on. If there's a check of 1 or 2, you've got some things to think about. But if your significant other or someone that you're thinking about making a further commitment with has all 4 of these, you really want to step back, get yourself a nice Starbucks hot chocolate and just do some reflection, because it's you may be going down the wrong path. So number 1, does this person covet? Do they covet and lament their past relationships? Taking a stroll down memory lane is not an issue, but someone who is just chronically lamenting relationships or a lost love, it's a problem because they have emotional energy that is turned away from the relationship, and it's an energetic thing that you really can't compete with. They may have unresolved issues, unresolved feelings there, and that's really something you want to watch because it's a pull on their emotional attention. And a little sidebar here. Sometimes people get hooked on the numbers when you're considering someone's past. That's a really faulty way to do it, because it's really not about the number of people that they have dated. That's not what you want to look at. You really have to go deeper. I know for myself, I got married later in life. I was like 35 when I got married, and I can tell you, I was considered the terminator of dating. I dated a lot of people. It was really a means to an end. I won't say that I didn't have some wonderful, fine times, but the happiest day in my life was my wedding day. It was just wonderful, and it's second to none. So you really need to look at is this individual, has he or she made peace with their past? Because if they haven't made peace with the past, they're bringing that stuff into the relationship, you really have to pay attention to that. Number two, are you thinking about partnering, or are you partnered with someone who's highly distractible and they get bored easily? I'm not talking about an ADD, I can't sit for a test, I'm a little hyperactive. I'm talking about someone who is really in love with thrill-seeking behaviors. They can't really sit still for long. You can use your imagination and just really think how that would create a problem in a committed relationship. At some point, if you stay together with a person long enough, the relationship enters into what I call that deep sea love, okay, where you're really going into that deeper phase of love, that day to day. It's where the real relationship starts, the real bonding starts. And someone who understands what commitment is about, they're comfortable with that really feels very pleasant. It feels warm, it feels natural. For someone who does not really have a natural inclination for commitment, or is averse to it, and they just kind of get bored easily, thrill seeking, that deep sea level of love is going to feel like nails on a chalkboard. It's going to be very uncomfortable, and he or she will get antsy. I've seen it happen many times. So you really want to stay honest in your observations about this person, and when they let you know, hey, I'm bored easily, they're always looking for the next best adventurous thing, that can be wonderful. Don't get me wrong, it's not necessarily the energy that is conducive for relationships, but it really, sometimes someone may be adventurous, rock climber. That's where they get their adventure and thrill seek. That's one thing. I'm talking about people who inside of relationships, they carry that thrill seeking over to that aspect of their life. Okay. Number three, did the person commit at gunpoint? Did they make the commitment at gunpoint, or do you currently have a gun to their head? If someone commits to you because they've been bamboozled or finagled or just hounded into doing so, it's really more of kind of wave the white flag of surrender commitment. Think about what you're going to have to do. You have to pull them tooth and nail to get them to a position of commitment. Think about what you're going to have to do to keep them positioned there. I mean, it's an exhausting place to be. It's a disempowering place to be, and you've really lost all your leverage in the relationship. I'm not judging anyone, but I will say there was a point in time where I pulled one of those numbers, and I'll tell you, I paid for it, and chances are you will too. If someone is not willingly walking with you, open heart, open mind, that energy is counterintuitive to a healthy relationship. And it's really something that you have to face head on. It's just not a good energetic stance. I know a woman who basically hog-tied this man into a relationship, and he gave her all sorts of conditions. I need you to lose weight, I need you to do whatever, and she did. She lost 45 pounds, which is fantastic. Put 10 of it back on. He threatened to walk out. She's having heart palpitations, and this was really just their cycle. And the reason it was is because he didn't want to be there in the first place. So when you have to have love in your life and it's there by gunpoint, 9 times out of 10, it's going to turn into an issue for you. And the fourth point is, the fourth thing I want you to look for as a predictor to whether or not this person will cheat is, are they hypercritical of you? Are they hypercritical? If someone is hypercritical of you, especially in areas that you can't change or it would be difficult to change, that's an issue because it means they're displeased. And if someone is displeased with you, when someone comes by that they think that they could be pleased with, that's going to be a threat to the relationship, and that's just common sense. I worked with a woman in my practice, and it rarely comes to this when I'm talking to people, but she was married to a lovely man, and she had been badgering him for years. This man was a laborer, and she just wanted to be married to a man with a different profile, different personality, different lifestyle. And I distinctly remember the day when I told her, I rarely would just be so direct and say this to someone, but why don't you go ahead and file for divorce and set this man free? He loves you dearly. He's given you the best life that he could. You don't seem at all satisfied with it, and essentially you're abusing him. And her eyes kind of got big, but it was the truth. This hyper critical, it just comes from a person who is displeased with you on some level, and to the extent of their criticism, if it's all the time, that probably means they just really don't like who and what you are. And who wants to share life with a person like that? So, these tips, again, ultimately you have to make the best decisions for yourself. But I've pretty much given you, just based on my observations, the data in the research over the years, the top aspects that you want to look for to really gauge whether or not your relationship is vulnerable to cheating. And for the love of God, if someone that you're even considering kind of matches all these points, you really want to take a step back. So thank you so much. I'm going to be putting out a lot more videos in the relationship area because that's what folks are asking for, and I love to do it. So I'll see you next time.